Now, Roland Martin, host and managing editor of the Roland Martin Unfiltered digital show. Also, Leah Fleming, morning radio host at Georgia Public Broadcasting. With a welcome to you both, we'll go ladies first with you, Leah. What is your initial reaction to what's unfolding around the death of Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta? That's where you are. It's where you work. You know this community.
Yes. So last night, what we saw was rage, just plain and simple, agony and rage come out. And you saw it with what happened, literally setting fire to the Wendy's where Mr. Brooks died. And also there were several little fires that were set around the area. The fire department, it took them over an hour to even get to the scene because there were so many protesters blocking their way. So you saw that. You saw protesters going up an embankment attempting to make it onto a major interstate that goes directly through Atlanta, I-75, which they were ultimately successful in doing that. And police did have to shut down that interstate for a while in both directions and make several arrests. I think police have made about 36 arrests at this point, but there were several arrests. So what you saw was agony and rage come out after what had been several days of peaceful protest. But once again, people on the scene said that they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. There are no more levels to give. And that just boiled over. Yeah.
Let's take a listen to what HUD Secretary Ben Carson said this morning on Fox News Sunday. Roland, I'll ask you a question on the other side.
And I think this is a situation that is not clear-cut, you know, like the callous murder that occurred in Minnesota. And it really requires some heads of people who actually know what should be done under these circumstances to make judgments. We don't know what was in the mind of the officer when somebody turns around and points a weapon at him. Is he absolutely sure that that's a non-lethal weapon? You know, this is not a clear-cut circumstance.
Okay, Roland, what do you make of all that?
I would say to Secretary Ben Carson, shut the hell up. Okay? You are a neurosurgeon, and you shouldn't be talking about something you have no idea about. This is very basic, okay? You saw a scuffle there. You, as police officers, you should not be firing at someone who's running away. Michael Slager is in federal prison right now because of what he did to Walter Scott. And there are numerous examples as well. In Georgia, the law, the taser is not considered a deadly weapon. And it was a taser. The guy's running away. You have his car. You have his license. You can arrest him. And this is what people, for some reason, I don't understand why this is so hard, but Ben Carson is saying, oh, we don't know what's in the officer's mind. This is simple. Dude is running away. I can catch him later. I can arrest him later. You can't revive him later. He's not Lazarus, and you're not Jesus.
Yeah, you make a good point, Roland, that in fact, had he run away, yes, with the taser, which for the most part is a non-lethal weapon. I guess it could be if it was used in extreme ways. But nonetheless, I mean, Ben Carson saying the officers didn't know what kind of a weapon he had. Well, yeah, they did because he took their weapon. But the fact is that had he, let's say he'd gotten in a car and made it home, they had his address, right? They could have even been there waiting for him when he got home to say, all right, let's go.
And see, this is the other thing that part of the problem. We want to start the conversation with the scuffle, but you have to go all the way back. Okay, you're a Wendy's employee, and you call the cops because a guy is sleeping in his car in the drive-thru. I'm sorry, could somebody have walked out and, sir, we need you to wake up. You're blocking the line. No, we don't do that. John Crawford III is dead right now because somebody swatted him. He had an air rifle in the Beaver Creek, Ohio Walmart, and someone said, oh, a black guy is waving a gun, an air rifle that was sold at Walmart. And so this is the deal. For black people, we are deathly afraid when the cops are called because we might end up dead. Kajima Powell, St. Louis, shortly after Mike Brown, a young man who was mentally challenged in Dallas. Mom calls the cops. He was playing with a screwdriver, and the cops say, sir, put the screwdriver down. He's not charging them. 30 seconds later, he's dead. So that's why black folks are scared to death when the cops are called, because we may not get detained or go to jail. We might end up having a funeral.
Gosh. So given all that's happening right now, Leah, do you think there's an indication this might be different in terms of this time? Might we see some real tangible systemic change?
You know, that remains to be seen, quite honestly. The mayor did respond swiftly, as did Erika Shields, the now former police chief. She did swiftly offer up her resignation. This after the NAACP of Georgia demanded that she step down. It's unclear whether she did so because of that, but she did. So they've been very quick to move and to make decisions about, that they need to move forward. So, but it remains to be seen whether this is actually the moment. Mayor Bottoms has announced by executive order that she has formed this committee to take a look at police reform and the use of force. She wants a report in 2 weeks. So we'll have to see what that report includes and what will happen next. But right now, protesters of all stripes are definitely resolved to make some change.
For sure. Roland, quickly, last word to you. Do you think there's going to be change?
I got to disagree, Alex. No, we're seeing change, and I think what we in the media have to do is really cover this stuff differently. You're seeing what happened in New York State with the governor. You're seeing with the Houston mayor, in Minneapolis. You're seeing it in the police departments all across the country. But this thing is going beyond George Floyd. You're seeing people, black and white allies, joining forces. Corporations are also responding. You're seeing the upending of white supremacy. It's the beginning of it. I dare say, as Reverend Dr. William Barber said, we are seeing the beginnings of what is called the third reconstruction. And I think we're going to see more of this. We have to cover this, I believe, a lot differently and actually notice what's happening, and it's building and it's building and it's not going to stop. And you know why, Alex? Because white people in America have now seen this and said, we can't be silent. That's also a difference maker.
I can make a promise we are going to stay on top of this story for sure and see where it all leads here on my show, here on MSNBC. Roland Martin, Leah Fleming, thank you both.